Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your videos for the month of May. Let's talk about your meditation. So I heard that song. I feel so bad. I can't remember who it's by. Maybe the Beach Boys. I don't know. But it's that line about we'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we want to go, down to Kokomo. So that came through in your meditation. So what I saw the Virgo Collective writing something down in pencil and then erasing it and then going to perfect it and then redoing it. It was a lot of revision. And then I saw, it was like on a piece of paper with a pencil. And then I saw you guys take the paper and it was actually like a notebook actually, and throw it into a big bonfire and then go and sit down on this beach. And I heard the song, restructuring, reframing, throwing the playbook out the window and starting from scratch. It feels like the days for you guys in particular, that the days of perfectionism or feeling the need to get it right, in quote, I feel like you guys those days are done, are gone. And it's a beautiful thing because I feel like you guys are entering into a time and you're starting to see that you can do everything, quote unquote, perfectly and to the letter, as it were, but still life happens. And I feel like you're waking up to the reality of just how little we have control over in this way. But it feels really positive, and it sets within you this beautiful freedom to just do it live and live your life. And you're realizing that, like, actually, not only is tomorrow not promised, not in a dark way though, not only is tomorrow not promised, but the plans of tomorrow are not promised. And since I understand now that to be the case in such a fully realized way, I am going to live, honey, my best life. And I'm not as concerned about the dotting of the I's or the crossing of the T's. I'm more concerned about my own enjoyment and sitting with myself in my own space and energy and dreaming up great things that serve me from an emotional and creative place. Stunning and gorgeous. Okay. Let's see what your animal energy is. Beautiful Virgos. It just feels really good. And it feels like I'm seeing the image of a cauldron that's bubbling and something creative is coming out of it. Like it's like bubble. But instead of toil and trouble, it's like, like really good creative gold genius. But it's like creative gold towards your life. Like it doesn't have to be actual, penning the next great novel or anything like that. But it's about looking at your life creatively. I'm hearing that book. Oh my gosh. What's it called? It's by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it's called Big Magic, I believe it's called. There's something in that book for you guys. It's the work wants to be made, and it wants to be made through you. That is a really good book recommendation for y'all. Also, at the bottom of the deck here, I want to take this. It's been peeking out at me. I feel like it's for y'all too, especially because I saw the ocean imagery of the turtle. And this is interesting because this is Cancerian energy popping up in your reading. I feel like I always feel water energy around you guys whenever I read for you guys. You likely know that water and earth, go well together. They feed each other. They understand each other, just like air and fire do inherently, right? The turtle is about your home being wherever you are, because the turtle carries its home on its back, right? So there's something to this and about being happy wherever your feet happen to be planted at any given point in time. The turtle also takes its time getting to where it's going, which is another way of saying that it enjoys getting to where it's going, that it really is about the journey and not the destination, okay? So your animal energy is that of the lamb. So this is really stunning and beautiful. This is that Christ consciousness love, that unconditional love, earth energy here from my beautiful earth signs here. This is that beautiful childlike energy of there's a lack of judgment, there's a softening, there's an inner peace and harmony, and looking at things from the perspective of I am going to love like I've never known hurt before. I'm going to love myself and see myself not through the lens of a critical eye, but that of an all-loving creator. Whoa. You guys are, I'm just going to say it. It feels very like Buddha or Ascended Master-esque. It just do though. Woo! Another thing I want to say, the veil is quite thin. It's been quite thin. It won't necessarily remain as thin as it's been. What a Dr. Seuss now. But there's something about, I feel like a good group of you guys, if you ever feel like the shivers or the tingles, you just feel a little extra, something, a little change in the density of the air. I do feel like your loved ones on the other side, those who have passed, I feel like you can take the opportunity to just feel them because they're really close with you. A lot of our loved ones on the other side it's kind of like in a way where the veil is a bit thinner and they're able to come and be with us, a little bit more closely through the veil during this time. And it's not going to stay that way. They'll always be around, but it's been like an extension in that particular context. So just putting that out there. Dream time, when you're falling asleep and right when you're waking up. There's something in that for someone, okay? Messages you get, creative inspiration, or you might, just be thinking of someone when you go to sleep, when you wake up, that's passed on. Oh, what did I just say? Nine of Swords. Look at this queen in a bed. Listen, this is literally what I just said, though. Okay? When you're going to sleep and when you're waking up, there's gold in that. There is gold in that. I'm also hearing how you begin and end the day, like the bookends, are going to direct and affect the outcome of the day before you and the next day. Interesting. Okay. So do you see how she's being depicted? So traditionally speaking, Nine of Swords is dream time. It can be nightmares, though, depending on the context. I'm going to tell you, you know what this is feeling like to me in this moment? It's really feeling like she is like, wow, like this is less of a, Dermot Strong, very angsty kind of position that I'm feeling from this queen, and more of I'm going to come from a place of instinct and intuition and feeling rather than using eyes to see things. I'm going to feel things out. Does that make sense? It's like she's closing her eyes to listen. That's weird, but I love it. Closing her eyes to listen. Doesn't that sound like some sort of novel or like a Lifetime movie or some sort of like Nora Roberts novel? Next on Lifetime, closing her eyes to listen. That's what I'm getting, though. I really like it, Virgo. It's like your mind is getting a much needed break. It's like I've done everything right in a certain way. And I've found that I'm in no better position than I was if I just enjoyed getting here. You know what I mean? We do have the Fool on the bottom of the deck, which is a fresh, brand new start. It also links up beautifully with the Lamb energy. Remember, this is like a childlike energy, not in an immature context, right? But more of a fresh, clean slate, I feel like is the point of this whole thing. Nine of Swords to the Nine of Cups. Hello and goodbye. This is that wish fulfillment key. Okay, I'm just going to point something out. See, remember, how I said how you begin and end your day is going to directly affect the day ahead of you and the next day to come. And so it's like she's closing her eyes to listen, right? Or however that came from, is closing her eyes to listen, which goes into the Nine of Cups, which is like, aha, feeling good where I am. This is very much speaking to me. Again, this water energy here with the Kokomo and get there fast and then we'll take it slow. Oh God, and the turtle. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we want to go. Ready, set, and visualize. There's an opportunity before you to manifest things that you could only dream of. I know that sounds very dramatic and very like, ooh, but that's what I'm getting here, Virgo. There's something about this. It's like you can use this time, and I'm getting a special message to keep some of this stuff to yourself, not to be secret, see your links like or anything, but just to let it brew and stew. Do you know how when you're cooking something, if you expose it, if you take the lid off the pot too soon or you open the oven too soon, it can either slow the cooking process or, change it up because you're not giving it enough time to low boil. For example, where I come from, we're into low boils, something about that. And you're feeling very sure and confident about what this is. It's a very independent energy that I'm feeling here. Okay? Which doesn't mean that you're not surrounded by people, but it's almost as if you are sitting so securely in your own energy, feeling so good. It feels like a new routine has happened within and for you, where you're letting each day inform itself to a certain extent, and therefore finding each day more enjoyable. Instead of going, I have a list of things to do and get done, and I have to take them off the list. I feel like you used to find enjoyment in that, or at least purpose, or at least some sort of like satisfaction, right? What can I control? I can control these things on list. But now it's really flipping. And you're like, actually, a new barometer of a successful day is how I feel during it and how well I sleep at night. Whoa, Virgos. Someone's about to change the world. They're changing their own world first. Oh, okay. So we have the devil here, Capricorn energy. So I'm really loving this. So traditionally speaking, these are things of everything in the 3D, right? Everything that we can see and touch and feel and discern in a real, 3D sort of way. It's interesting. So, these two folks right here that are chained together, these are the lovers from the Lovers card, right? Which is Gemini energy, which is about choices and love. So the devil can speak of feeling chained or bound, or that our choices are limited. And we know, right, that is not the reality at any given point in time. What I'm feeling with this intuitively for you guys, because look at how this is storyboarding. Look at how this is storyboarding. Closing your eyes to listen, right? Feeling your way through each day, right? Really stepping into a place where the barometer of how successful your day was if you enjoyed it. Woo! And you're dreaming up, how can I keep these good feelings going as life transitions to a semblance of schedule that it was before, right? Before things changed, right? Which leads you into a devil territory of, wow, now I'm back in the 3D world and land. And I'm feeling like, how can I hold on to and retain those feel-good feelings when I didn't let my schedule or to-do list inform how successful my day was, right? I feel like you're committing to doing things differently. And there's this feeling of wanting to hold on to, right? It's that wanting to hold on to these feelings that you're stepping into in this month. And I really like it. Okay. The Chariots. This is the second time Cancer has come up in your reading, so you could definitely have Cancerians around you, and I'm obsessed with that. Traditionally speaking, this is fast, forward-moving, balanced energy, right? Look at the stars here. I'm really drawn to the stars here. Stars are about wish fulfillment, right? And then you have the Nine of Cups here coming up. So the fact that this is clarifying, I think this is exactly what I already said in terms of, you're closing your eyes to listen. How you begin and end each day informs the quality and how the day feels with and for you. And that it's a process of moving towards a reality that is deeply and actually rooted, right? Feasibly rooted in wish fulfillment and your ideal life and existence. Okay, I'm seeing something very specific, and you don't have to have seen the show, but it's what they're showing me, so I'll explain it. There's a show called King of the Hill. It's an animated show that used to run on, I don't know, I think it was Fox or something. Anyway, so do we have some Southerners watching this? I feel like I'm back in the South a little bit. So in that show, there was a character named Khan, and Khan did everything right. Khan was definitely a Virgo, darling. So he did everything right. He got to work every day on time. He paid all of his bills on time. He ate 3 balanced meals and never stepped outside of the lines, right? Never colored outside of lines, never stepped outside of lines. Then one day he loses his job. And he completely goes the other way. And he's like, oh my God, I lost my job. He stops paying his bills. He starts partying, all that. He just completely goes to the opposite end of the spectrum. And they're showing me that right now. There might be some of you, and I do not feel like this is a lasting influence, but I'm saying what might happen around this, because the Chariot is an extreme energy as well, is you might come out of this, be moving into a place where you're like, everything was this certain way. I never stepped outside of lines. I used everything right. And then everything changed and I have no control over it. And now I'm going to go the complete opposite way. And suddenly I'm having trouble getting out of bed but it's not having trouble getting out of bed. Let's reframe that. It's not having trouble getting out of bed. It's like I've gotten out of bed at the same time for so long and gone about business and taskmastered myself. Devil is taskmaster energy as well. That now I'm going to allow myself to lay in bed until, noon o'clock. Drink coffee and watching a show or journaling or reading or FaceTiming mom, or whatever. It's this complete flip and change where you're like, I'm enjoying life. So in that extreme energy, don't be hard on yourself around it. I feel like you are making up for lost time around that. Allow yourself to feel those extremes, right? In that context, even if it's eating cookies, in the morning, however this, comes up for you, right? It's like, oh God, I'm going to eat cookies. I'm going to eat carbs like on a weekday. Allow yourself to go there for a little bit so that you can recalibrate back to the middle in a new reality. It's like flip flop back to the middle ground of this reimagined reality that suits this, new energy moving forward in your world, right? You're going to have a much better time. Well, by the way, on the bottom of the deck, here's the Empress, again with this crown of stars. Okay, I feel like you're being asked, like, if time and money were no object, how would you spend your time? What would you do? You're being asked to really sit with that right now, because on the other side of what's going on right now, because we are moving out of these energies, things are shifting and changing, and the Chariot isn't moving. I could tell you, if I had to tell you like what the collective energy is right now, like for everybody, it's the Chariot. This has been coming up for me in meditation, I don't know, every day. So just keep that in mind, okay? The Three of Cups here. This is good times with more water energy here. This is reunions, good time with friends, getting together. There's no social distancing going on here, darlings. This is reaping that harvest with those grapes here as well. I'm getting the Bacchus vibe as well, because the devil kind of looks like a Bacchus. So Bacchus was the Greek god of partying and wine and the feel goods. This is exactly what I was saying with the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment, and the Three of Cups, allowing yourself to indulge in, chatting with your friends more, FaceTiming all day, not sticking to a to-do list and just spending the day watching, funny movies or romantic comedies or, journal prompts or coloring or whatever that is, allowing yourself to really sit in those energies. And again, it really feels like you are conning it up in the way where it's like, no, I'm actually gonna, like, again, the success of the day, how successful my day was is not determined by what I got done, but how I felt during it. Kind of amazing. The devil. I feel like by your birthday season, your life is going to look very different and for the better. And I think it might like honestly surprise you. Oh, yeah, Nine of Cups again. Okay, look at how he's eating. Is that a roast chicken with potatoes and all the trimmings? I might be slightly hungry with this reading, this food imagery. So this is the second time you've got Nine of Cups, which is with wish fulfillment. They're also pointing out that Nine of Swords, Nine of Cups, and then Nine of Cups again. I was just talking about your birthday season. So some of you guys are born in latest, but the majority of you guys are born in the 9th month of the year, which is December. So I'm really hearing that, again, look at this indulgence with the devil. Allow yourself those 3D pleasures. Allow yourself to go there, because this time is not always going to be here. And I have a feeling you guys are the first reading of this round of videos, and I have a very distinct feeling that this is going to be a theme to like take this time and I want to say like use it well, but for y'all, I want to say like don't use anything. Just like don't use it well. Do in terms of like air quote like how is time well spent? I feel like that's what you're asking yourself, and you're looking at things very differently and going, I'm going to let myself indulge in the pleasures of life. I'm going to let myself enjoy life in a more fully realized way. I also feel like you guys are going to come out of this. I feel like you might start getting some really good ideas, creative ideas for new apps or businesses, or something about that creatively. You're getting these new ideas. The reason that these ideas were always in your atmosphere and always wanted to come to you, but they couldn't get through because you were always so busy. So it's like allowing yourself to indulge in a moment-to-moment way and letting the day inform itself is putting you in this beautiful place of receptivity where some genius ideas and some really great stuff is coming to you, right? And it's because you're in a place where you slow down long enough to listen and receive it, right? Let's get Animal Oracle for you guys. Wow, Virgo. I really love this. Okay, Gorilla Peace. Let's talk about this because I can't with this. And it's actually lining up with the lamb really beautifully. Okay, so remember when I said in the meditation that I saw you sitting on a beach and it was like, we'll get there fast and we'll take it slow. Kokomo, it's where we want to go. Do you see this gorilla looking out at this like snowy expanse? Actually, is he in the clouds? He's in the clouds looking down at the galaxy. Oh, Lord Jesus. That's beautiful. So I feel like this is exactly what this feels like for you guys. So let's talk about gorilla energy, though, for a moment. Gorilla energy embodies the truth, as Brene Brown says. I'm just like feeling the South in this reading. Brene Brown is from Texas. I'm just feeling it. But also, okay, they're telling me that the point of the South thing is that Southerners in the South are known in part for things being at a slower pace down there. Okay, it is. Take it from me. It's slower pace, back to the turtle, going at your own pace. So Brene Brown says that true strength is vulnerability. True strength is vulnerability. So, the gorilla understands that he can dismember, disable, and conquer anyone anytime that he wants to, right? In a fight or whatever have you. But that he understands, or she understands, that the true strength is understanding when to restrain oneself, and not restrain in like a negative way, but when to hold back and when to exhibit, mercy. Back to this lamb here too, and this idea of mercy and patience and treating oneself with kindness and without, judgment, right? Look at how buff this gorilla is. I honestly see you guys taking this time to really gain a whole new perspective in the going slow. And I feel like when things, are picking up again with this chariot energy, it's like you're going to be able to retain within you all of the lessons and beauty that this going slow gave you. And it really feels like you're going to insist on never quite going as fast again, because you're understanding that, like, wow, I missed a lot going at that certain speed, or ascribing to a certain timeline, or setting an alarm for a certain time so that I could get extra work done before I got to work on the actual work day. And then that's what it is. It's like really allowing each day, that the barometer of how successful your day was did I enjoy it? I can't tell you how amazing this reading feels, and I'm completely obsessed for you, Virgo. For real. This is really, really good. Look at how strong. I also want to point out this gorillas also hold within them ancestor energy, ancestral ties. Can you see that ancestral looking mask here? This primal mask. Because I also wanted to say, like, in your meditation, it was a return to the primal state, where if you think about it, pre-industrial revolution, there was no like, I'll meet you at 12 o'clock at the watering hole. It was like each day was a new mystery, and you never knew what it was going to hold, right? Remember when I said that the veil was thin and that your ancestors, the ones who crossed over to the other side, are right there with you? Especially, you maybe can feel them a little more keenly when you go to sleep and right as you're waking up. And then we have the ancestral animal energy here with the gorilla as well. So you can derive strength from your ancestors and just really feel them around you at this time. Okay, beautiful Virgos, this was your video for the month of May. I am sending you so much love and blessings. This is beautiful. I really hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I would absolutely love that. And with that being said, just thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.